Bullet Cast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the subscription, the stream, the viewing, the listen, the download. I'm your host, Philip Manswine, and yes, I am the Podfather. I am joined, not in attendance, but at his house, by the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon, the Bullet Cast champion. How's it going there, guy?
I'm going great. And you're damn right I'm the champion.
Oh, the champ that runs the camp. You know, we are not together. It's Thanksgiving break. You know, people have to be with their families. People have to go have Friendsgivings. I don't have those, though, because I'm a real one. You know what I mean?
Once again, Mr. No Days Off, still in effect.
Still in effect, yes. All right, guys, so let's just get into this performance-enhancing audio. Episode 43. We're making our way.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to 43.
Shout out to 43. All right, happy belated birthday to the Bella twins, Nikki and Bree. Their birthday was yesterday. They turned, what are they, 30, 34 now?
I think so. Nikki was on the finale of Dancing with the Stars. She did a little dance.
She did a little dance, yeah.
Fantastic.
Shout out Nikki Bella. Ain't nothing but a straight beauty.
Okay. Keep in your pants, sir.
I mean, I busted it, big dog. But moving on, Hideo Itami, he will be making his debut finally to the main roster when he joins 205 Live.
I feel like that's a good fit with them. I would love to see him be on the main roster because just being on the main roster is better than being in the cruiserweight division, but I don't know if Neville is coming back, but Hideo can be a good lead babyface for the cruiserweight division at this point since he hasn't been defined down like Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann and all the other people.
He could. All right, Kevin Owens has a 365 that aired on the WWE Network. Did you watch?
Of course I did not watch this.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I just didn't have time. I didn't feel like it.
I watched
Tell me about it.
I watched it. It was very good. It chronicled from SummerSlam 2016 up until SummerSlam 2017. It was very good. I find it odd how Vince didn't like the WrestleMania match that Jericho had with Kevin Owens for the United States title. Vince didn't like one damn thing about it. And Kevin felt like he had hit his lowest point at that point. You know, he was Universal Champion, then he went to this program with Jericho. And the fact that Vince didn't like his Mania match kind of put him in a little depressed emotion. But, you know, he goes over to SmackDown Live, and we all know what happens. He feuds with AJ for the United States title, then goes on to do his stuff with Shane and Sammy that he's doing now.
I do feel like that Mania match he had with Chris Jericho, I don't know if it's just because it's Owens and Jericho, so we had so much expectations. I feel like that match was a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, I don't think it lived up to what we really thought it was going to be. I thought Kevin was going to be vicious like he was in NXT.
And, I mean, they kind of just, it's been such a long time, but they kind of put it, like, early on in the show, so the crowd probably wanted to save their energy for that 10-hour show that WrestleMania is, and I felt like they should have got a little better spot with all the stories that went into that match. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Apparently Vince McMahon has no faith in Finn Balor. Finn Balor was going to be scheduled to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble, but Vince scraps that because he has no faith in him. Thoughts?
I feel like that's a damn shame. I think Finn Balor, I'm very high on the lad, and I feel like he could be the Roman Reigns. He basically checks off every single box except for, you know, he's maybe not 200 pounds. That's like the only box he doesn't really check that Roman Reigns checks. Roman's not the best talker in the world, neither is Finn, but Finn can be a good talker. He's a beautiful young man. I'll admit it. So he has the ladies
nothing but a beauty.
Behind. Yeah, the ladies can get behind him. The kids love him when he dresses up in the stuff. He checks all the boxes. The guys love him because he has the Japanese indie cred. And he's a great wrestler. I just don't understand why Vince doesn't have faith in this man. And if you book him to lose like he did on Raw, of course he's not going to get over because he's losing his matches. And it's a shame we're not going to get that Lesnar match at Royal Rumble because I was really looking forward to that match.
I mean, Vince may change his mind. We don't know.
I mean, that's what my sources say, that it was supposed to be the Royal Rumble and then it got canceled. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sad for Finn. He's on the way down. Maybe he turns heel and joins the Good Brothers and they can have something. But it's not looking good for my boy right now.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Kamala. Hope he gets better. He's on life support after he's had some medical issues over the past couple of years. Wish him a speedy recovery.
I mean, I know he hasn't been in the greatest of health lately. Didn't he lose his foot because he has diabetes and all that stuff?
It's bad.
Yeah, so shout out to Kamala. Hopefully he can pull through just like Ric Flair did.
Oh man, kick out of two. All right, let's get into the Raw recap. So Triple H and Kurt Angle, they all have a promo.
Well, Triple H didn't really have a promo. He just stood there and
he stood there and
was just
looked
mean
at people.
looking.
Stephanie came out there. Jason Jordan came out there. Braun Strowman.
I wanted a little bit more of an explanation for Triple H. I mean, he doesn't have to say much. He just has to talk about he wants all the glory and Kurt Angle. I mean, just give me something. I know this is probably built into a match at WrestleMania. And all the matches that were built in that Survivor Series match all was revolved around Triple H. Triple H against Shane. Triple H against Kurt Angle. Triple H against Braun Strowman. Because Triple H is the big dog. He has to be built around everything. And yeah, it's just Triple H being Triple H.
It is Triple H being Triple H. Excuse me. Oh, man. Well, that sets up Jason Jordan and Braun Strowman later on in the night. But after that, Samoa Joe goes on to defeat Finn Balor.
I mean, I talked about it. I hopefully Samoa Joe, they do something with him, because if you're going to beat Finn Balor clean, choke him out, hopefully he can move up and maybe he faces Roman Reigns for the IC title.
Maybe possibly. He can do that.
But, if kind of just looking at the landscape, Brock Lesnar's probably not going to be there until Royal Rumble, so Roman Reigns is going to be the top dog with the title. He needs some heels. Might as well have Samoa Joe go up against him and have a little fall thing going on there.
Yep. All right. Well,
don't know what Finn Balor's doing, though.
Don't know what he's doing, no. Asuka, she goes on to defeat Dana Brooke.
Good. She better.
All right, cool. Miz TV.
What about Miz TV?
I mean, how did you like it, The Shield comes out there.
How did you like it? It is a two-man show. You can talk about stuff. You just don't always throw it to me. I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I thought Miz TV, it's entertaining. I enjoyed what did I enjoy? This happened 2 days ago. Now I have to think back.
Well, usually we do this on Friday. We're doing it on Wednesday, so it should be easier to look back and remember.
It really should. No, the Shield came out there. They were hilarious as always. And then Roman was like, I want a title. And then Seth was like, hey, Miz has a title. It's nice. It's white. I thought that was pretty funny.
They kind of just have Miz go out there and, go through 15 minutes and BS your way through it. And it sets up a match, and it doesn't really do anything. It's fine. It did its job.
Yeah. Well, Dean Ambrose goes on to defeat Sheamus. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
How many times have we seen some iteration of this match? It's just over and over and over again. They recycle one of the Ambrose and Rollins against one of the Bar, and it's just, I'm done with it.
Yes. Well, Alexa Bliss comes out to cut a promo, and she says she needs competition. Or she didn't say she needed competition, but anyway, she gets interrupted by Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks. Then those three go on to have a triple threat. Winner faces Bliss for the title, but Paige made her return to WWE television, and she brought some company. Thoughts?
I have more thoughts going into SmackDown and what they did with their three-woman team, but I don't really know why you bring those two women up with Paige. I don't really see anything. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they're fine talents. I don't really know if they're ready for the main roster. I feel like you probably could get some other people.
Yeah.
Bring some other people up. And
some of the girls from the Mae Young Classic, you could have brought them up.
Yeah, Mandy Rose, she's still pretty green. She's from Tough Enough. Sonya Deville has a nice MMA background. Haven't really seen her do much in terms of wrestling a back-and-forth match. I've just seen really squash matches of her. I know those two were doing things down at NXT together, so at least they have a connection there, which makes sense. Hopefully they can flesh it out for why they're with Paige. And they do need more bodies on the women's roster, because they have kind of gone through everything, and since it's the first stage, I'm not going to judge it entirely, but I just don't understand why you bring in those two women up with Paige.
I don't know. I mean, Mandy Rose, she has the look. You know, she's a very attractive woman.
She's the next Trish Stratus, apparently. That's what they want.
I'm fine with that, you know.
I mean,
but
I'm higher on Sonya Deville than I am on Mandy. Mandy, she has the looks, but I haven't really seen anything charisma or wrestling wise. Even though when she was on Tough Enough, I did believe she should have won the entire thing because she was the most talented out of the whatever women they had there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Paige, you got a massive pop.
Well, it's been rumored for however many weeks now that she's coming back, and then she finally came back, and maybe some leftovers from the marks from Survivor Series. So you got the smart marks there, and they love them some Paige, and they were very respectful. No Xavier Woods chance or anything.
No
that I
Del Rio or anything. Yeah. I mean, she hasn't been there in like 16 or 18 months, so it was very interesting. I was excited. All right.
I don't know. I mean, I forgot if we're just going to go right into it of them attacking Alexa Bliss, but it looks like Alexa Bliss is going to be turning babyface.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, they were attacking everybody. They were pretty vicious, you know. Shield.
Yeah, female Shield.
What did I say months ago? I said we needed a dominant women's faction, not the welcoming committee, but something else.
Well, how come women have to debut in factions? Like when Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte came up, they all came up in like a group of three, and then now these women are coming up in a faction, and the other women are coming up in a faction. Why can't they just debut alone, like Nia Jax did or Asuka did?
I don't know, dude.
It's a whole thing. I have more thoughts about the SmackDown trio. We can get into that later.
Yeah, we can get into that later. All right, during Strowman versus Jason Jordan, Kane comes back and attacks Braun Strowman.
I mean, it was expected Kane was going to show up sometime. I thought maybe they could write or do something after Survivor Series, but of course build everything around Triple H. And I thought in the opening segment I wasn't able to get into this, but I thought Jason Jordan did show some good fire going up against Triple H, wanting them to fight him, and it did make me want to see Triple H up against Jason Jordan for a little bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason Jordan. I think they're planting seeds for a heel turn. He's kind of making excuses, like when he talked to Kurt backstage, like, "Oh, I only said that because I didn't know I was facing Braun Strowman, but now that I'm facing Braun Strowman, can you get me out of it, Dad?" So I think that's not certain, but I'm pretty sure Jason Jordan's definitely turning heel eventually.
Yeah. All right. The cruiserweights. Honestly, the good cruiserweights beat the bad cruiserweights. That's all that happened here.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is, you know.
Hopefully Hideo Itami can breathe some life into that division.
Hopefully. All right, Matt Hardy goes on to interrupt Elias. I'm not really interested.
This is just a lower card match. They just want Elias to come out there and bury the city. Matt Hardy isn't doing anything. When's Jeff coming back? Because right now they're doing nothing with Matt.
Yeah,
I wish they could like don't do a broken gimmick, but Matt probably has a bunch of ideas. Let him do something on his own and let him be creative and do something.
Let him be money Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Elias is probably going to win this feud in the end, and it's just going to hurt Matt, and Matt's not getting any younger at this point, so they're probably just waiting for Jeff for them to do something, and then they can break up and Jeff can be the star.
Yeah. I mean, Elias, he was hot for a quick second. You know, I was walking with Elias, but now I'm like, I think I'm a stroll with Elias, you know.
Well, I mean, he hasn't really been doing it. He just legit just does the same thing over and over and over again. It's funny him burying the city, but then after a while, this is a wrestling show. You have to get in there and wrestle. And not saying he's put on bad matches, he just hasn't put on hot matches where people really care about it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. All right, then to close out Monday Night Raw, the big dog Roman Reigns becomes the 17th man to become a Grand Slam champion when he defeated The Miz to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Thoughts?
The big dog has his chain. I don't know what you would call it, but
the big dog with the white strap.
Yeah,
it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was a good match. Miz and Roman, they were fine.
They got some chemistry.
I think people were starting to turn a little bit on Roman, and in a good way. They were cheering him. They were getting behind him a little bit. Apparently, Miz is filming a movie, which means he's going to he got written off by getting powerbombed through the table after the show, I guess. And
yeah.
Probably by that time, once he's done filming, I don't know exactly how far Maurice is, so he might take a couple weeks to do paternity leave or whatever. So we probably won't see Miz until maybe Royal Rumble, maybe in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania time. So, you know, it was fine. I've already kind of talked about it. Roman's probably going to be the top guy now. Well, he is the top guy, but since Lesnar's not there, he's going to be the top champion on Raw. There's no pay-per-view no Raw pay-per-view until Royal Rumble, right?
I don't believe there is, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, Brock's not coming back till then, so Roman can maybe have a title match or two to main event of Raw. I mean, Samoa Joe seems like the logical pick to have him go up against him.
Yeah.
I don't got the roster in front of me. I can't really think about who else could be in there, but I mean, maybe Elias. You heat up Elias and let him go up against him. I assume the Shield will get all the titles back.
Honestly, I hear they're gonna go back to the 2015 feud Sheamus had with Roman, because apparently the Office wants Sheamus to be a Grand Slam champion. So rumor has it Sheamus could be the one taking the title off of Roman.
Probably. I mean, you don't want Roman to have just the visual of having him with the IC and the Universal title. People are probably just going to poo-poo all over that, just saying, oh, they're just giving him all the things. And is it just me? I don't really care about him being a Grand Slam champion that much. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see.
How do you feel about him being because after WrestleMania, he's going to be a Grand Slam plus 1 RBI, whatever. He's a 5 RBI champion now.
I don't know,
Universal title.
I don't know, but
do you even know what an RBI is?
I don't. I'm not hip.
Oh boy. Oh God.
Oh God.
All right. So, anyways, do you care about the Grand Slam champion gimmick title?
I mean, I do care about the moniker, you know. I mean, Shawn Michaels, the first ever Grand Slam Triple Crown champion, you know.
I mean, it's just, especially like with Roman Reigns, it's kind of like, oh, they just give him all the titles because he's the man.
I mean, Cena's never been Grand Slam, you know. Some guys haven't beat there.
Well, because Cena's held the WWE title 16 times. He doesn't need the IC title or the tag title or whatever.
Yeah. I'm with a guy who told me that John Cena is the greatest of all time. Do you agree?
John Cena is not the greatest of all time.
We all know it's Nate.
We can get into this on another topic, but
yeah, another topic.
Nature Boy, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, and then maybe we can talk about John Cena.
Yeah.
Maybe after
all right.
that.
Let's jump
this is just WWE history.
Yeah, let's jump into SmackDown. All right, so Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you know, they all have a promo together, along with Daniel Bryan. And Daniel threatens to fire these boys.
Yeah, Shane was going to fire them. Daniel, I guess, saved the day, even though there's nothing stopping Shane from firing them. When Daniel Bryan's a kid, he could just say, you're fired, and then, well, Daniel, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It was kind of, this episode of SmackDown was kind of a propaganda piece for people who didn't watch Survivor Series. They made it seem like the whole thing was Kevin and Sami screwed over Team SmackDown, which if you watched the show, that obviously wasn't the case. They really, they attacked Shane, but they really didn't have that much of an outcome in the match.
They really didn't. All
so,
right,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin defeats Jey Uso. Thoughts?
I feel a double turn is coming. Eventually, I don't know if they're just going to – there needs to be a double turn, but there needs to be something actually happening, because I feel like people are turning on the Usos of them being a babyface tag team, but the Gable and Benjamin haven't done anything truly atrocious. They've done little things here and there, but they haven't, attacked them after the bell or attacked them backstage or anything like that to clearly cement which team's the face and which team's the heel, because I feel like people like both teams, but they don't really they don't hate the other team, really. So that's always a problem if you care about both teams, but you don't hate the other one or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, face Usos, that's cool, but the heel down since day one-ish, I enjoy those boys.
I do. I like the ring attire. They're very swaggy.
Oh, Swaggy P.
Shout out Swaggy P. Shout out to the Warriors.
Shout out to the Warriors. Yes. All right, and then we move on. Let's just jump into the invasion angle. Under Siege Part 2.
Sure, why not?
All right, so Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan have a debut on SmackDown. First, they attack Naomi and Becky Lynch.
Well, good thing those three girls showed up, because it would have been really weird to just hear Naomi talking to her the makeup artist about really nothing about Charlotte and the SmackDown women's teams. It's a miracle how that just happened to happen.
I know. So an anti-diva, a blonde, and a brunette. What are the odds?
I know. I mean, this is really stupid. I don't understand why they're doing this literally the day after Paige did her thing. There's no, at least with Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, I'm already getting them confused. Sonya
Sarah
Deville
Logan.
And no, I'm talking about on Raw with Sonya
Raw.
Deville and Mandy Rose. There was some sort of a connection on the NXT TV to where you can see, that's why they're together. But with these three, I don't really know why there's a connection between these three. They haven't talked. They haven't really gone over what they're doing. And it's such a carbon copy of what they did on Raw with, the goth girl, the hot blonde, and the badass brunette. It's so dumb. I don't understand. I know there are two different, writing teams on each show. I don't understand why they would do legitimately the same angle on both shows. It was
I know. Why
really
did they take
stupid.
all those girls away from NXT?
And it's not even not to be rude, it's not even the good ones. It's kind of Ruby Riott is fine. Sonya Deville is fine. I like Sarah Logan. She hasn't really done anything really on NXT, but she is talented. And another thing is Liv Morgan. I saw this on Twitter. Isn't Liv Morgan and Carmella legit the exact same character?
Yeah, it's basically the same gimmick except without the moonwalk. So yeah, I was like, why is she on SmackDown with her? That doesn't make any sense. Plus, her and Enzo are sharing a locker room.
Well, Enzo's on both shows, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, technically, they're not really sharing a locker room. Girls don't dress with the guys.
They're in the backstage space,
But Enzo's on both shows, so no matter what, you're going to have that issue.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like Ruby Riott could have been a nice NXT Women's Champion down there. Give her some more time. Let her get the rub off of beating somebody of importance down there, then moving her to the championship. Liv Morgan, I haven't really seen her work. I'm pretty sure she's still green. Sarah Logan, honestly, I don't know really much about her.
I know Sarah Logan. Mitchell could attest to this. We were at the San Jose NXT show. Sarah Logan was really over with the crowd. She's a good worker. It was actually Sarah Logan and was it? No, I forget, but I know it was Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville going up against whoever, and it was fine. There was it wasn't a great match by any means, but it was good. But I just don't understand why you bring those three women up together. It's just, obviously we need to wait and see what the explanation is, but at first glance, I don't really like this, because at least with the Raw team, you can have the excuse of Paige is clearly the lead, and then it's kind of like the Miz Taraj. The other two are just the stooges, with Sonya Deville being the badass, and then Mandy Rose just kind of being the sneaky one or whatever.
Yeah. The Paige Taraj. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, maybe one day this could be a hot feud with maybe next year's Survivor Series. Each of these three women teams go up against each other in a 6-man, but I don't think either one of these teams will be together by next year probably, but
yeah,
we will have to see.
We will. All right. Or they could clash in the Women's Royal Rumble. Apparently that's going to be happening.
That is what I've been hearing on the streets, so hopefully they can stay together till then, but you never know with Vince McMahon.
Yeah. All right. Harper and Rowan defeat the Hype Bros. This was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Their attire is a little weird. Their finishing maneuver, it looks so weak. I do not like their finishing move.
I'm like, Mojo, you jobbed to that? You better have gotten a little extra pay, my guy.
It was just an utter burial of the Hype Bros, which I'm not complaining about. I thought they would be broken up eventually. I don't know what they're doing with that, but they need to change up that finishing maneuver. It was like what, a double razor's edge.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Plus, like Sheamus and Cesaro, they do the exact same thing, but theirs looks way much better.
Yeah, I mean, not a great start to the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Natalya cuts a promo saying how she's going to regain the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then we move on to Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles promo segment. Mahal says he is invoking his rematch at Clash of Champions. I'm just glad AJ didn't lose the title last night.
I thought, well, didn't they say at Survivor Series that the match was going to happen yesterday? Then that just never happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
just another thing of Vince McMahon changing things on a whim of,
and
they say one thing and then they change it up the next day.
Good news, Clash of Champions is after the India tour.
Good, I mean,
so
and we've talked about it a little bit, so it's the Raw show, he's facing Triple H, it's probably just, yeah. Hopefully AJ still keeps the championship. I've heard things maybe Vince has kind of cooled off on Jinder and he's not trying to give him that mega push that he had over the summer.
All right. The summer of Mahal. Never forget. All right. This leads to AJ will be facing the Jinder Heads next week in a handicap match. And then we go on to the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Rusev segment, which I thought was a little funny, a little humorous.
It was fine. I mean, I find Rusev entertaining. He's funny, but I feel like he should be Rusev from 2 years ago, the badass foreign guy.
Yeah.
Or at least turn a babyface or something, because people love the Rusev Day gimmick.
Yeah.
Do something with something. Do something with my boy Ruru.
All right. Now during the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Natalya and Charlotte, they get attacked by this new 3-woman faction.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just exactly what they did with Paige and the other girls. I don't understand why they would do the same thing twice. Not very creative, WWE.
Yeah, not very creative at all. All right, then we move on to the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they go on to defeat the New Day. Thoughts?
The match itself was fine. They did some storytelling with the Lumberjacks.
Yes.
Lumberjack match. I mean, it was fine. There was a big old cluster mess at the end where everyone was fighting everybody, and then
yeah.
Where was Dolph Ziggler? Was not in the Lumberjack match. Where's Dolph Ziggler been? He's MIA at this point.
Ziggler was not there, and neither was Orton.
Well, they gave the excuse of Randy Orton was sent home because he was going to do something to them, and I don't know if Randy was in the dark match after the show, but yeah. And Randy Orton will be facing off against Kevin Owens next week.
Yes, he will. I was surprised to see the Colognes. I was like, oh my God, I forgot they're on this roster.
Yeah, just Nakamura doing nothing but being a lumberjack the day after Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's what happens in WWE.
Yeah.
All right, Superstar Spotlight.
Well, are we not going to talk about the little thing at the end with Daniel Bryan and saying he was never going to fire them in the beginning? Like, is there going to be a Daniel Bryan heel turn? Because they hinted Daniel Bryan was being a little questionable. Let's talk about the fact that Shane just went home or went back to his hotel room in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Well, Stephanie, whatever it was, when she returned, she showed up, talked for like 10 minutes, and then left. So apparently that's what the McMahons do.
That is what they do. Yeah, but
so what do you?
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do with Daniel Bryan and Sami and Kevin? Because something's going on here.
I mean, is there going to be a physical payoff? I mean, because I feel like Kevin Owens.
McMahon is.
What?
Go ahead, sir.
I feel like Kevin Owens is the perfect person, kind of going back to that 2009 Randy Orton psychotic thing. He's the perfect guy to attack the man that is not supposed to be touched. He's the perfect guy to do that. Channel that Mr. Wrestling, Mr. Ring of Honor, Kevin Steen days when he hated Jim Cornette. Channel that anger, and let's see that played out on WWE TV.
Well, I mean, if Vince McMahon thinks that Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn faction stable will get booed against the Shane McMahon-led stable, Vince McMahon is out of his mind.
Oh. That's stable, huh?
That's what it seems like at this point. Because what was it? Dasha Fuentes, whatever her name is, asked Brian about the women attacking the title match or whatever, and he had no comment, which kind of seems like he didn't really care, and he maybe told him to do that. And Dana Bryan maybe hinting at a heel turn. I don't know if this is some ploy for WWE to turn him heel so they cool him off when he eventually leaves to wrestle down in Mexico and New Japan. But I mean, I'm intrigued at what they're doing with this storyline.
When he goes to have a 5-star match in Tijuana.
Yeah, I mean, he is growing out his hair for that hair versus mask match, which is what Baron Corbin needs to do against Sin Cara. But that's another story.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I don't know where they're going to go. It's going to be very interesting to see. KO will be facing Randy Orton next week on SmackDown, so I don't know.
And hopefully Kevin wins.
Hopefully Kevin wins, yes. All right, let's go to the Superstar Spotlight.
You go first. That air is great air.
I'm going to go Ruby Riott.
Why?
I mean, I've seen her stuff on the indies. You know, she's a very talented girl. She has a very nice moveset. And despite the fact that it's a carbon copy of what happened the day before on Monday Night Raw with her faction, I think given the right booking, she could be a great star on the main roster and potential SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
Well, I do see her as the best out of the 3 women on SmackDown. Maybe out of the 5 that debuted, she might be the best.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
And then,
my superstars. Continue. We're on the phone. We're down face to face. The chemistry just isn't there right now.
Yeah, and then maybe
I can't just run over you. What?
Maybe Liv Morgan and Carmella can have a gimmick versus gimmick match.
Yeah.
All right. Your Superstar Spotlight.
I'll go AJ Styles. They had to kind of be in disaster control, whatever you call it, with him losing to Brock. They showed the promo of Paul Heyman kind of putting over AJ a little bit. I kind of wish he put him over, stronger. It's kind of talking about how much of a war he put Brock Lesnar through. He kind of talked about it a little bit at the end. I kind of wish he talked more about how he how he took Brock Lesnar to the edge and stuff like that, instead of just talking about how much of a great performer which is kind of pandering a little bit. But I thought AJ had a nice promo. They're building up to Jinder Mahal's rematch. I mean, it was fine. It was just, there was no real standout performance this week in terms of Raw and SmackDown. Or I can go to the Usos. I really did like the Usos match at Survivor Series, but
that was very good.
Because I felt like that match he had with Brock was the best match on the Survivor Series card. Should have been the main event.
Quick side note about Survivor Series. I'm hearing some people say this is Brock Lesnar's best match since his return in 2012. Do you agree?
Since his return?
In 2012, this is his best match throughout this run, this WWE run.
I would say his matches with John Cena, definitely the first one he had, and then the one at SummerSlam, which is not a gimmick match, but it was just a squash of John Cena, which was very interesting. I talked about how much I love that Goldberg match he had at WrestleMania. I'm probably gonna say third best match behind the first, his actual return match, and then his match he had with Goldberg at WrestleMania, and then maybe the CM Punk match is there too. But it's definitely one of his best matches of his career. Yeah. All right. Which shows how great AJ Styles is.
I mean, AJ Styles getting Brock some good work, giving Jinder and Roman the best matches of their careers. Gave Dean a really solid match, TLC 2016. Got Cena to some great heights. You know, AJ, he's the second coming of HBK.
I mean, if you can have a 4-star match with AJ Styles, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. All right, let's go to this promo pick of the week. So my promo pick of the week, The Undertaker returns to Raw February 21st of 2011. But the reason why I picked this is not because of the words that The Undertaker said. Triple H returns, and this is going up before WrestleMania 27, and all they did was have a stare down, and then they looked at the WrestleMania sign, and they told an amazing story just right there. I enjoyed it. I recommend all wrestling fans go watch that. You could feel it, like, oh my God, they're going to do something special. And their match at WrestleMania 27, best match on the whole card.
I do remember that. That was my my comeback to wrestling. I missed WrestleMania 26. I didn't watch WrestleMania 27, but I was there for the build, and I remember that moment. It was fun. Well, I mean, it was just kind of one of the problems that we've had at WrestleMania the last couple of years of just having the older guys being in the top matches. But at that point, that was when Undertaker was having his great matches, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so close match pick of the week, guy. What you got?
So my match pick of the week. This weekend, we saw a potential dream match of Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. And another dream match that I would love to see in WWE is a match that we've already seen, and you can watch it. I haven't actually seen this match in full on YouTube, but you can see some clips of it, and that would be Brock Lesnar versus Shinsuke Nakamura at the Tokyo Dome 2006.
Okay.
I would love to. It's not the greatest match in the world. Shinsuke was still really, he wasn't green, but he was just really young. He's not the Shinsuke of the, late 2000s to when he's
not the Rock
now.
Star.
Yeah, he was just kind of the young boy, and he wasn't a big star, but he had the push behind him. He's kind of like the Roman Reigns. He wasn't ready for it, but he was in main eventing the Tokyo Dome against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar just kind of doing it for the payday. It was not the best match in the world, and I feel if they did have a match in the WWE, it would be much better than this match. So check it out. Kind of look at Brock Lesnar post WWE, Shinsuke pre Rockstar New Japan Star era. It's a sight to behold.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess that's it. You can follow us on Twitter at BulletCast. Follow us on Instagram, The BulletCast. On Facebook, BulletCast. YouTube, The BulletCast. We're also on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube. We're all these places. I guess that does it, guy.
This is very short. Not even 40 minutes. See, this is what happens when Mitchell's not on the podcast. He doesn't get long-winded, and now we're only going 40 minutes and not an hour like we normally do.
I know. I'm an hour man. I'm a 60-minute man.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did carry this podcast. You didn't talk a lot. You got to give us your hot takes.
I mean, I didn't really have any hot takes this week. Possibly next week if I get upset,
Okay. When AJ loses his handicap match next week.
Yeah, I might have some hot takes. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Happy holidays.
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day. Go enjoy Black Friday. This coming Friday.
I think at this point Black Friday is just seeped into Thanksgiving because I think there's some stores that are opening like noon on Thursday. It's bad.
I don't know.
Shout out to all the people that got to work those stores and got to deal with crazy people like me shopping and tearing shit up.
Oh, man. Well, seriously, guys, thank you for listening. Happy holidays, Brandon. I will see you next week.
In person?
In person, yes. I will see you next week in person. Mitchell should come along with us. And
maybe you can see the new title.
I can't see. There's a new championship, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can get a photo of that up pretty soon on the Instagram and the Twitter. But, Brandon, happy holidays. I wish the best for you and your family. Mitchell also. Happy holidays there, Cali Kid. And I'll see you boys next week.
All right. Goodbye and good night.
Bang.
Bullet Cast for life.
This has been the Bullet Cast. Thank you for listening.